Good afternoon. Iran says it will continue diplomatic talks with the United States even as new Israeli airstrikes threaten to derail what could be a historic peace agreement. This developing story has major implications for Middle East stability and global security. Iran's Supreme National Security Council has decided to maintain the path of dialogue with Washington, according to President Masoud Pezeshkian. Speaking to media representatives on Sunday, Pezeshkian confirmed that despite recent setbacks, Tehran remains committed to negotiations aimed at ending the ongoing conflict. This commitment comes after Iran had seriously questioned whether to continue talks with the United States. The doubt rose following fresh Israeli attacks on Beirut suburbs, which Iranian officials viewed as a major obstacle to diplomatic progress. Parliament Speaker and Chief Negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf had written on social media platform X that if the United States lacks either the will or ability to meet its obligations, then the diplomatic path cannot continue. He argued that giving green light to such attacks could not secure diplomatic concessions. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards have threatened Israel with retaliation. A Revolutionary Guards spokesperson told Iranian state broadcaster that these crimes will undoubtedly not go unanswered. Iran's main condition for any agreement with the United States is an end to military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon. Tehran has repeatedly emphasized that without fulfilling this demand, it will not be ready to continue the diplomatic process. Recently, signs had been mounting that an agreement to end the war could be imminent. Iran's foreign minister stated that an agreement would be signed once negotiations are completed. The latest escalation began when the Lebanese Hezbollah militia attacked northern Israel, prompting Israeli Air Force strikes on targets in Beirut suburbs. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz said they targeted Hezbollah terror sites in the southern suburbs known as Dahia. They described the attack as a response to Hezbollah's shelling of Israeli territory. Lebanese sources report at least 3 people were killed. President Donald Trump condemned Israel's counterattack, writing on Truth Social that the Beirut attack should not have happened, especially on a special day when we are so close to a peace agreement with Iran. Trump noted that while Israel has the right to defend against threats, the attack it was responding to was meaningless, with no one killed or injured. The president called on all sides to exercise restraint, stating that a deal with Iran is close that would bring peace to the region, including Lebanon. He wrote that there should be no more Israeli attacks anywhere in Lebanon and no more attacks by other parties, including Hezbollah, against Israel. Due to recent events and contradictory statements from both sides, it remains unclear whether and when a breakthrough in ending the war between the United States and Iran can be sealed. After Trump had suggested signing a first agreement today on his 80th birthday, Tehran has kept the timeline for a possible framework agreement with Washington open. The Fars news agency close to the Revolutionary Guards reported Sunday morning that Tehran has not yet made a final decision. A source familiar with the negotiating team said, "Examination of political, legal, and technical aspects at expert level continues." However, the Revolutionary Guards are already trying to justify a possible agreement. A general from the elite forces political department said that battlefield, popular presence, and diplomacy complement each other to preserve the Iranian nation's interests and rights. Recently, both sides and mediator Pakistan had spoken of imminent signing. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson said Saturday they had never been so close to an agreement. The proposed framework agreement should be the starting point for deeper talks between Washington and Tehran. Besides opening the Strait of Hormuz, reports suggest the agreement would extend the fragile and repeatedly broken ceasefire by 60 days, and serve as a starting point for negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. The stakes could not be higher for regional stability. If this story matters to you, hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss the German perspective. Now tell me, what's your take? Drop it in the comments.